October was crammed with video games, and now here's November to add even more pressure to your gaming backlog. I'm here to show you 10 of the best games of the month, from the AAA to the free-to-play and the hidden gems along the way. And of course, we end with some good old dad jokes. I'm Adam. Hello there. Let's do this. I have to start with a game that could be here for years and years, and already has 5 million players waiting for the game to release. This is Where Winds Meet, a free-to-play open-world RPG that has both a single-player campaign and tons of multiplayer elements. The narrative story takes over 150 hours to complete, and the co-op modes include dungeons, raids, minigames, bounty hunting, and of course PvP. It's absolutely packed full of content, and all backed up with cosmetics and customization options which make up the backbone of their monetization. Combat looks solid, using a posture system that plays similarly to Sekiro and Wukong with the usual parries and dodge focus. Traversal looks innovative, and as we level up we can fly further, and supposedly every building in the entire game can be entered. And judging by the size of the 20 regions we've seen so far, that is honestly an absolutely mind-blowing detail. And any of them could uncover a hidden mission to unlock a new exotic weapon. Is this all too good to be true? Find out for yourself for free on November 14th when Where Winds Meet comes to PS5 and PC and supports full cross-progression between those platforms. I haven't played yet, so I'll link a video in the description by Lazy Peon if you'd like to see more. Oh, and if you're on Xbox, supposedly it's coming to you guys in about 6 months' time. And speaking of console exclusivity, after a year on Xbox, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl finally makes its way to PS5 on November 20th. The first-person shooter had a few problems at launch, which were reflected in the reviews, but the devs promised fixes and they delivered. Set in a post-apocalyptic exclusion zone by a nuclear power plant. This is also a survival game, as we monitor our hunger and must find time to sleep, all while radioactive storms roll in dynamically. Searching abandoned buildings with seemingly uninhabited corridors puts you on edge like a horror game, and enemies can be lurking around any corner. Away from combat, the choices you make have consequences, from the little things like choosing what to take in your limited inventory, all the way up to choosing your allies and enemies, and therefore changing the events of the game, although they do tend to lead back to the same point. With a 40-hour campaign and many side missions to undertake, Stalker 2 hits PS5 on November 20th. Another first-person shooter is the annual release of yet another Call of Duty game. Love them or hate them, these things excel at one thing in particular. The gunplay is still unmatched in my opinion, after all these years. This time around it's Black Ops 7. Set in the near future, 2035 in fact, as AI soldiers roll out in the name of peace, we fight back in a globe-trotting adventure as a dude who died in Black Ops 2. He's suddenly back again, so you may want to watch a story recap to get the most out of the campaign. Multiplayer will always be the core experience of Call of Duty, with the new thing this time around being wall jumping, and there's also something called overclocking, which unlocks even more field equipment and score streaks. The Zombies mode takes place in the Dark Ether this time around, and our task is to find a way to escape, claim back our souls, and of course, unalive even more of the unalived than ever before. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is coming to the PS4, the PS5, the Xboxes, and the PC on November 14th. With Halloween still lingering around, another game has a spooky vibe, and it's SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide. Yet another platformer following up on the Cosmic Shake. This time we play as both the titular Sponge and the lovable Patrick, and we can swap between them freely as the other one becomes a ghost on your shoulder. This time we are wrapped up in a battle between King Neptune and the Flying Dutchman and must overcome ghosts and ghouls and parkour our way to victory. Not the deepest of mechanics at work here, but it's still a good time is to be had. SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide lands on November 18th on the PS5, Xbox Series, PC and Switch too. A game I was raving about last month was typically delayed moments after I released the video, so this may feel like a little deja vu, as Terminator 2D No Fate now drops on November 26th. The retro-inspired side-scroller has us replaying the iconic second movie and parts of the future version as we fight back against Skynet and AI taking over the world, so it's very topical right now. I think it looks absolutely awesome, but I'm also an old man, so you do you. Terminator 2D No Fate comes to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch and PC. Now over to even more free games, and golly gosh, this month is absolutely packed. We've already looked at Where Winds Meet, which I'm really hyped for, but this is just the tip of the iceberg, as tomorrow, October the 28th, Battlefield 6 will unveil their free-to-play Battle Royale mode. Known as Redsec, it'll work the same way that Warzone did beside Call of Duty, a free way to play the game without buying the game, and the good old core concept of an ever-shrinking storm circle pushing players together until only one survives. The vibe looks to be more akin to Battlefield Bad Company, with golf carts to race around on in a fully destructible environment. Oh, and that storm supposedly is an insta-kill. No one can dwell in this storm, not even for a split second, so steer clear. Also, a new Gauntlet mode is said to be free too, which sets a series of missions for squads to complete and battle through, and at the end of each round, one squad is eliminated. That all to me sounds very cool, but also keep in mind that when something is free like this, cheaters come running. I really do hope they have something set up to catch them all. If this is going to be your first venture into Battlefield 6, there is one important note you really should know. All new weapons that will be in battle passes will always be in a free tier, so arguably Battlefield 6 won't ever be pay to win. We shall see. Playable on the PS5, the PC, and of course the Xbox Series. As we're already 1 foot into Battle Royale, remember Fortnite before it became Roblox and started serving slop? Well, starting November 1st, the island will be taken over by the Simpsons, and the entirety of Springfield will be playable. And the takeover has already begun with Bart's graffiti on Fortnite's homepage, and over the last few days, Bart's treehouse has been growing in-game and now reveals a TV screen showing snapshots of Simpsons episodes. For 1 month only, Ned Flanders and his amazing bottom and the whole neighborhood will bring a cel-shaded vibe to the game. Will they include the schoolhouse? 1 month later, all this vanishes forever and yet another new chapter will begin the Fortnite cycle once again. I know Fortnite hasn't hit for everyone in quite a while, but I'm honestly really hyped for this. Other free things you may have missed. Right now, Marvel Rivals has a surprisingly good roguelite zombie horde mode. It's a totally PvE co-op mode in which we battle against countless zombies and zombified versions of Namor and Scarlet Witch. As this is a seasonal event, jump in to try it because in a couple of weeks it goes away for at least a year. And I can't believe I'm saying this, it's really good. It really is, it's surprisingly good. Of course it comes with a caveat, gamers on PS4. Sadly, this mode will not run on that platform. It is understandable though because this mode gets crazy hectic. Another free game I planned to tell you about was RENNSPORT, but that has changed. They have switched from a free-to-play model and gone back to a premium model. This simulation racer leaves early access on November 13th and is just a standard game. No tricks to nickel and dime you out of your money. Buy it once, it's yours forever. If you need a new racer, look out for it on November 13th on PS5, PC and Xbox. For those looking for a charming little co-op game, have a look at Biped 2. We control a couple of bots and must work together to get anything done. But of course, the very basics of the game are quite actually hard. It's got some QWOP vibes, this. Which of course leads to ridiculous communication issues and swearing at the person you're playing with. Or maybe that's just a me thing. Biped 2 is coming to PS4, PS5, the Xbox Switch and PC on November 5th. Football Manager returns this month after an entire year off. They chose to delay by a full year to massively overhaul this management sim, and now it looks totally different with a new user interface, reworked graphics and animations, and even more stats than ever before. Football Manager 26 launches on PS5, the Xbox Series and PC on November 4th, and there is a Switch version hoping to come out next month. I know this next game doesn't look great, but it has the same vibe as Tetris. This is Lumines Arise. I'm not totally sure on the pronunciation because it's about minds that illuminate, so it's either Lumines or Lumines. Either way, it's such a basic idea about lining up coloured blocks before a literal line wipes across the screen, Thanos snapping away any completed sections. This was crazy addicting on the PSP 20 years ago, to a degree that you'll start dreaming about the blocks when you go to sleep. Lumines Arise hits PS5 and PC on November 11th, and oh my gosh, this is on PSVR 2 too. I forgot that existed. There are many more games dropping in November. Let me know if I missed a banger and I'll pin your comment. But now, I think we should end with some dad jokes. Like this one. Did you know all military ships in Norway, Denmark and Sweden have barcodes on the side? This is so they can quickly Scandinavian. It's clever, right? If that's too complex, take this one. A quick shout out to the person who stole my antidepressants. I hope you're happy now. I asked my pregnant wife if 9 months feels like a long time. She said it feels like a maternity. You get it, I get it, we get it. Let's go. My girlfriend broke up with me for talking about video games way too much. What a silly thing to fall out for. Why? Why did I find that funny? I've got issues. Sorry about that. I'm Adam. You're awesome. It's been an absolute pleasure. See ya.